Welcome back to Mean Gene 1963, my beautiful YouTube channel. Jeannie Lynch coming to you today, continuing the intuitive playlist. And look at all the videos around me right now. I have been busy teaching and hopefully inspiring you to make connection to higher self. And as you know, if you've watched the other videos, we've identified that you are intuitive. Everyone's intuitive, by the way. We even nailed it down and said, hey, what kind of an intuitive you are. I shared some stories about hearing, seeing, feeling, and we're going to continue that work today. And you even know what not to do. So now that we've put that behind us and you're moving along with me in this beautiful playlist, today I'm going to go back in time and share the very first time Spirit came through. And I will tell you, I was open but was not looking. So if you are looking and you're wondering why you haven't made a connection yet, please stay watching. I'll be breaking that down today on my channel. Hey, thanks for staying clicked in. We're continuing the work of the intuitive playlist. And as I mentioned in the intro, we've done a lot of work on this channel. So if you're just coming in and this is the first video you're watching, may I suggest, you don't have to, but it would be great as long as you're kind of following this series through. They're set up in list for a reason. So today, I'm going to go back in time and tell you the first time that Spirit came through. And then I'm going to share just 3 simple points if you're trying to make a connection that hopefully I can be of service to you today. Hey, thank you so much for allowing me to use your actual names in this video with beautiful permission to help others heal, because it would be really hard to explain without that. So thank you for that. So, Gordy. Let me just honor my friend here. People show up to you, you've heard this expression, at the right time, in the right place, for the right reason. And that is my friend Gordy. We are still friends today. I've told him many times that I can't imagine going through the loss of my daughter with anyone else. This man, you know, held my hair when I needed holding, okay? And you know what that means. Just the kindest soul. He is still the kindest soul, and just was a huge aspect of me processing my grief. So thank you. So I will say too, though, Gordy was also grieving. When I met him, he had lost his best friend, Tom. So Tom and Wendy, thank you for permission again to share this story for others. So Gordy and I were both kind of going through our own grief process. So at the time, I was open, but not pushing myself or reading and doing work with other people, okay? So it's just really important that you understand that in this story. So this one particular day, in the midst of waking up, Tom comes into my dream. Now I remember at the time thinking, how do I know it's Tom? Because I'd never seen a picture of Tom. I'd heard little bits and stories about him because Gordy was processing his grief. But in this dream, there was no doubt in my mind it was Gordy's friend. So when I looked over and saw his friend quickly went into telling me that he was concerned about his daughter, that he was bearing witness to her having and struggling with the fact that the father was not going to be there at her wedding day, and he felt and he knew that, and he wanted to make sure that he got a message to her that he was very much going to still be at her wedding for her. And he told me and he showed me something that had to do with brushed nickel. That was my mind's eye. That's the way I saw. I literally saw a nickel, and I knew it was brushed nickel. And he explained to me that if I go to Gordy and I tell him that it has something to do with the wedding and something to do with brushed nickel, that Gordy would know what to do. Okay, so I come out of this dream, I wake up my friend, and I tell him, and of course his first thing to me is, you don't even know who Tom is, as I stated earlier. And I quickly went on to tell him, hey, listen, it was Tom. He's worried about his daughter. He wants his daughter to know that he's going to be at the wedding, and he's telling me that you will know the story or something between you and him and a wedding. And that's basically all I said to him. He knew nothing at the time. We go upstairs. Beautiful, intuitive Kayla hears the story. I tell her about the dream. She runs over to where they kept their water glasses, and on the top shelf she reaches up and she pulls down this beer stein and says to Gordy, Dad, don't you think that this is what the dream is about? Why is Tom's goblet, beer stein, at Gordy's house? Here's the backdrop story. They stood up for each other at the wedding. It was a gift to Gordy for being in Tom's wedding. And all the time that they would get together and have their annual parties and get-togethers, they would all show up with their own beer stein, the whole group of their friends. So Gordy shows up at Tom's house with his beer stein. They're all drinking. Gordy leaves that night and accidentally takes Tom's mug. There was a tragic fire where they lost everything, including Gordy's left behind beer stein mug, okay, that he received at his wedding, at their wedding. So he, after cleaning up the debris and the rest of it, Tom admits to Gordy, I'm so sorry your mug, got lost in the fire, but, and Tom, I'll get you your mug back. And he says, no, as a grand gesture, he says, please keep the mug. It's important to me. You were in my wedding. It means so much to me that you were there. I want you to have that mug. You keep my mug as a lasting memory. Okay? So do you think this has anything to do with the wedding? I think so. So Gordy, as a grand gesture back to the beautiful daughter, who was obviously grieving that her father wasn't going to be there, wrote this beautiful note in the story about honoring that and giving back the mug. That was his beautiful gift to the daughter, with a note inside it that day saying, your dad wants you to know that he's still very much here. He wouldn't miss this for the world and wants you to have this. I just love that story. Thank you so much for letting me share it. First time Spirit came through. I'm going to end with just three beautiful tips to help you and assist you if you're looking to make a connection. Stay watching. So I'm going to end my video today with just three little beautiful offerings, three blessings to someone who might be looking, okay? The first one is be open without looking. So as I was stating earlier, I wasn't trying to get a message from Tom in the beginning of this story. I was just in my own process, I was open. And I've stated this in so many other videos, the path of least resistance, right? So be in that path and you will receive a message. The second message I have, if you're looking to connect, is stop trying so hard. So if you're trying and wanting and needing, guess what? You're in lack. We know that with the law of attraction, right? So if you're open and you're sending them love, if you find yourself in that frequency, all you really should or can do for yourself to free yourself from that is just send them beautiful love. When you're in the frequency of love, they are right there. So that message will come through, I promise. And then the last message is, probably not going to like it, but I got to say it, don't be greedy. If you get a beautiful cardinal today, I was on the bike, right? Beautiful red cardinal flies in front of me. All I can do is just gasp and say, thank you, Isla, and I keep moving. I'm not continuing to ride looking for another one, looking for another connection. I'm not staying in the frequency of lack again. So if a message comes through, all you can do is think about what you're doing in that time. Say, thank you, I saw you, I feel you, I know you're there, and let it go. Hopefully my video has inspired you today. Love sharing these stories. Shout out to Wendy and Gordy for letting me share. It truly means a lot to me. Thank you. Have a great day. A funny disclaimer, here is the actual glass and note that was featured in this video. And just an interesting point that when the information comes through, it is truly our job just to give it and to not be tied down to the actual details. Glass, pewter, Tom, tea, you get my point. The blessing is the message.